Ian.
Dave.
Woo! Out of practice, buddy.
Yeah, we're rusty at this.
Woo!
This is like our 4th attempt at starting this show.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm great. Before we get started.
Yes.
So, we're going to talk about our recent personal misadventures with cars and everything on this show. That's basically going to be the whole show. So if you don't find us interesting,
sorry.
There's probably a new episode of Curb. I think. So there's that.
I'm Dave.
I'm Ian.
We're the Team Clearcoat podcast.
Yes. But before we start, so you're probably noticing that like a McPoyle, I brought a glass of milk with me to the blanket for it. And also some ice cream.
Yeah.
And that is because my maternal grandmother was from Rhode Island. There's an Italian family. She was a first-generation immigrant, and they settled in Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
And so my mom went to go see her cousins and everything recently in Rhode Island, and she brought back a gift for me.
Okay.
And now it's not only is it a gift for me, now it's your problem. is what's
I'm getting
happening.
Saddled with this as well.
So it's this thing, and I had actually never heard of this. But it is called coffee syrup. It is the official, it says it right here, official state drink of Rhode Island.
That is a state drink. Not like this in milk is the state drink.
Well, I think that is the state drink. But yes, this is how you make the state drink.
Okay.
And just to be clear, the ingredients are high fructose corn syrup.
Always good when you start with that.
Corn syrup. The
lesser fructose corn syrup.
Yep. Coffee extract.
We're a car show.
Caramel color and potassium sorbate.
Wow.
So I think we got to take the seal.
Yeah, this is brand new, and we're gonna do something that everybody on a podcast, everybody that listens to podcasts loves. We're gonna eat.
We're gonna taste test.
You might hear mouth noises. We'll do our best to move away from the microphone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So as you guys know, if you've listened to this show ever, we are both coffee enthusiasts.
Yep.
And so my mom thought,
naturally, yeah, you would like this coffee syrup, right? Because it has the word coffee on it. Yeah, let me get a whiff of that.
I mean, it smells like vanilla extract. Essentially.
Okay, but vanilla's not
because it's very liquidy. You don't want to.
Vanilla's not in the ingredient list. Yeah, that is very liquidy. It is not as viscous as quick syrup or Hershey syrup.
So apparently the thing to do, there's a ratio you're supposed to do, but I'm just going to dump it until it looks right.
Yeah.
In the milk. And then we're also going to pour it over some ice cream and try it that way.
Yeah, until it looks right. This does not look anything right. It's a good thing we have towels on the blanket fort table. Oh, man.
Is that right? That looks good.
Yeah, sure.
Let's try that.
Yeah. So adding more. Ian. Oh, boy.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Yeah, I guess I do.
All right.
Have you had this before?
I did try it at my mother's house very briefly. She had another bottle of it, so I did try it.
Wow, that is disgusting.
I didn't think it was that bad.
What are those little coffee candies? Those nibs, coffee nibs? It tastes kind of like that.
Yeah, it's not very good. Is it? I don't know. Apparently, this is what she grew up. So basically, the idea is that if you have kids, and you're an Italian family, you're sitting around, you're drinking you're drinking coffee together. The kids feel left out. That this is what you do to give your children this, which I would never in a million years give this to my child.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't ever.
Because it's just sugar.
Right. That's all. Sugar and bad taste.
Yeah.
That's kind of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it on the ice cream?
Better, but not. Oh, that aftertaste comes in strong.
But not anything you would ever do again. Ever?
No. Coffee. Oh man.
Yeah, initially it's not bad.
Yeah,
actually, on the ice cream it's not terrible.
Yeah.
On the ice cream it's not bad. I would say that.
So
with a little bit of whipped cream on there, it would be okay.
Yeah, Ian's going back for more. I think he's going to finish it off. Yeah.
Well, it's like it's not bad, and it's like perplexing.
Yeah. It is. It is a little bit like smelling gasoline. Oh, that doesn't smell great, but I kind of don't want to stop smelling it.
Or like when you fart and it smells really bad, and you then spend a couple of sniffs like trying to diagnose yourself. like trying to figure out which meal caused this thing. Like it's an unpleasant experience, but you keep going back to try to like figure it all out.
Which one of your internal organs has died? Yeah. That one has a whiff of gallbladder.
Do you want some more?
With a top note of kidney.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move it on.
Ian.
Car show.
Yeah. So this is even though it's the official state drink of Rhode Island, it seems a lot more suiting to the state that you were in recently, Ian.
Yes.
Not emotionally, but physically.
Yes.
Ian?
Yeah, I was in a different state emotionally for sure for most of this weekend.
Yeah.
So I just got back from doing a weekend at Chump Car. We did the Frozen Rotors 9+7 Enduro at Road America in Wisconsin. Long-time listeners may remember last year, Dave and I drove to that event.
Yeah, like idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time idiots, yeah. The car was looking pretty good
because
year.
You needed to get a dresser.
Yeah.
Yeah. New to the car for this year, this front aero.
Yeah, there's been a couple of changes to the car. So they replaced the shocks all around.
Okay. It still has our stickers on it.
It does still have our stickers on it,
okay.
Which may have explained some of the issues that we had this weekend.
We'll get to those.
Yeah. But the front splitter, honestly... And there was some toe changes made, some suspension changes made, both front and rear.
Okay.
And it does handle like a different car. It is so last year there was a big problem. It wasn't a big problem, but it was just the characteristic of the car was it would turn in really sharp.
Well. Yeah.
But then it would immediately wash out to understeer. And so you would get this like really terrible mid-corner push. And it made it so like you would feel but you had good traction on the way out. So your mid corner was just garbage. So you would feel like you were on both the entrance and the exit of the corner. You were like not going as fast as you should be going.
Okay.
And then you would just wash the front tires away in the middle of the corner.
Okay.
But this year it's a lot different. So the high speed corners, the front splitter really did make a big difference. I was amazed. And
that's just some plywood?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Just about everybody does that. We noticed that when we were at Watkins Glen. Yeah.
And also, it looks pretty boss on that car.
It does look pretty boss. So this is a 1987 Maserati bi-turbo.
Maserati bi-turbo.
Yeah, yeah. And it does look good on that car. Yeah.
Yeah, and my uncle has owned that car for like 25 years or something.
Okay.
And it was a road car obviously first, and then they gradually changed it into this race car.
Yeah.
The other change was there's now Subaru brakes, brake rotors up front.
Okay.
And I think then some other part is from
Subaru calipers?
I think so. The rotors and the calipers I think are from a
STI?
From a Subaru. No, not even an STI. Just
okay.
RX, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, so the braking was a lot better. It still is not like super confidence inspiring under braking. And so I'll start with the crew, and then I want to get into the braking thing.
Who was in attendance? Ian, I couldn't make it this time because I had a vacation scheduled with my girlfriend that we'll talk about after we talk about the race.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was driving.
That was your time to take a sip of coffee while I was talking.
Oh, I missed it. I missed it. So in attendance were first on the crew we had Dwayne was the crew chief again.
Yep.
And
hello, Dwayne.
And he again knocked it out of the park.
Cheaped the hell out of you, crew.
He really did.
Yep.
And then Jake from Rags to Racing Race. God, I always
Ian, it's the Rags to Races podcast that you can find on iTunes.
I screwed it up to his face this week over the weekend, and like.
Ian, I am very ashamed.
I
Jake,
don't know why I do it.
I apologize, and if you want to stop listening to our show, you probably already have. After this episode, I don't blame you.
Well, you should have done that years ago. Anyway,
hello, Jake.
Hello, Jake. And then Chris from down in Alabama.
Yep. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris. He was awesome again. So that was our crew. And then for drivers, we had myself, my dad, my uncle Craig, and a guy named Lenny, who we will talk about.
Okay.
He is a character.
Okay.
So
Hello, Eric, and hello, Craig. I'm sorry. I wish the timing would have turned out differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
would have been nice to have you there, but that's okay.
But yeah, and we need to get into you assuming my role. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to den mother as best I could. I don't think I lived up to your standards, but I did my best.
How many atomic fireballs did you have in your pockets at all times?
None.
Oh, then
I didn't have any candy at the ready, which is basically that's side number one.
You weren't pulling shots of espresso in the pit lane like I usually do.
No, I was not. Yeah, I definitely failed on the coffee front, but I made breakfast for everyone every morning.
That's good. Yeah,
and I made sure that I was the only person who thought like, hey, maybe we should have some food at the track for this 16-hour race.
There you go. That's my boy.
Yeah.
And so I was with you in spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. I brought like fruits. I bought fruits and vegetables, which
they have in Wisconsin.
I had to get them airlifted in.
Okay, just a chopper.
Yeah, I had to get a FEMA chopper to drop them to me.
Just a shipping container, and you open it up, and it's one thing of spinach.
Yeah.
And
then there's like 100 bratwursts, and you're like, damn it! How did these get in here?
Yeah. Okay.
So I did eat a lot of bratwurst. So we get there on Friday, and so we had the test and tune day.
Yeah.
And so a couple of things happened on Friday that I want to talk about. So my dad and Craig drove the car Friday morning, and one of the things that Dwayne had a good idea about, and one of the things I was really glad we brought the video stuff with.
Yeah.
So I brought 2 video cameras, and I'll be posting videos throughout the week here. We put some cameras on the outside of the car.
Yeah.
To watch
how close you're getting to apexes and stuff.
No, to watch the behavior of the car.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Because there's still the behavior of the car under braking is still like it's better. It's
okay.
It's definitely better. There's more feel through the pedal,
sure,
which gives you a little bit more confidence. Because that was one of the things that I had last year was that you can stomp on the brakes, but there wasn't a ton of feedback through the pedal, and it would just wander around.
Okay.
And the wandering wasn't predictable, so you end up giving yourself a cushion on the outside of the corner.
Right.
And so you're not, where your turn in should be. So you end up compromising, a couple of meters of usable track.
Right.
Because you don't know which direction the car is going to go.
Yeah.
And that was a big problem at Watkins Glen still and all that. So since then they've taken some steps and it has gotten better with the splitter and the braking changes that they've made. It has gotten better, but it still kind of wanders around a lot and it's hard to figure out. And Lenny, who runs a company called Auto Italia, if you go to the straight side shot, you can actually see right there. Actually, that's his logo right there.
Okay.
So he basically is the guy when you buy a Maserati or a Fiat in the U.S.
Okay.
He's the guy you say you have for parts.
Oh, okay.
So obviously my dad has, taken great strides to keep him in his good graces.
Yeah, I was going to say, and also keep him paying his mortgage.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So he was saying that, he thought maybe it was a brake bias issue or something like that. Well, we put the cameras on the car and we put them facing the front wheels and the rear wheels. And basically what Dwayne was thinking he was going to look at was the toe,
right,
to try to figure out like what the wheel was doing under certain load conditions. But what we ended up finding out was that the damping in the rear is so weak that we were getting like 6 inches of travel.
Oh wow!
So the weight transfer front to rear is really, really dramatic.
Yeah.
And so he's thinking that putting really stiffer dampers, because remember, like, compression is the spring and then extension is your shock, right? So having a stiffer shock would control the extension of that,
right,
of the suspension more. So that's what we think is going to help with a lot of the braking and stability issues under braking. And
did you guys make any changes before you raced the race?
Yeah, so we made some toe adjustments.
But with that suspension
on Friday.
piece.
No, we didn't.
Oh, okay. It was more just like getting your arms around what you had to manage, knowing that weight transfer there was there allowed you to manage it better.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So then I got in the car Friday. So the other thing that happened on Friday morning was that Dwayne had this guy there that he knew, a friend of his, he's like this 20-year-old kid who his father owns, or his family owns the karting track at Road America.
Okay.
And this guy he's a professional driver.
Okay.
And so we put him in the car.
To
see how badly we suck.
Okay. All right.
And also to get his impressions on the
the
setup and everything else. And for the most part, so he got out of the car and the first thing I said to him was like, before you say anything, just know that there are 3 family members on this team. And you are going to make or break someone's position in this family. You're going to either resolve or exacerbate some familial argument that's been going on for years.
You will simultaneously validate and diminish.
Yeah.
And also ruin Christmas.
Yes. Like because the suspension travel, the arguments over the suspension travel, really not about the suspension travel.
Right.
It's about a toy that was stolen, 45 years ago.
Exactly.
So continue.
Yeah, go on. So
good luck.
What would you like to tell us now?
Yeah. But no, so he posted a 3:01.
Okay.
I think Craig's best time at that point in the morning was like a 3:04 or something. So it wasn't like
it wasn't like 20 seconds. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we were all nervous. Like if he comes back with like a 2:45,
right. Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
You'll be shitting yourselves.
And he took a lot more curb than we were taking, and and he was going a lot deeper on the brakes. That's where he was making up a lot of time. Were those 2 places, obviously.
Sure.
Because we had video of his lap.
Yeah.
So then I got in the car after there was some setup changes done.
Real quick, what else did he say?
He basically kind of agreed with most of our assessment that basically like,
whose Christmas is ruined, Ian?
I think we were all kind of like nodding along. He said, there's a lot of understeer. The one thing that he did say that we were all, what was really funny was when I picked up, I went to the Appleton airport to pick up Chris and Lenny.
Okay.
And Chris had driven the car. He got to drive the car during a test and tune day earlier in the year.
Sure.
And when I had them in the car, they were both complaining about the steering wheel that's in the car. And it's just like aluminum.
Yeah.
If you remember the steering wheel. And it has like spikes in the back of it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who. I didn't bring it up. I think it was Chris brought it up. And then Lenny was like, "Oh my God!" And then it was like everyone was just complaining about the steering wheel. And that was the first thing that Jordan talked about when he got out of the car.
Okay.
He was like, "I don't like that steering wheel."
Okay.
So we were giving my dad a hard time about the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I told him that was going to be his Christmas present this year. It was
a
better steering wheel for the car.
Yeah.
But he said, there's a lot of steering angle that needs to be put in. That's an issue in the really slow corners.
Okay.
You end up like just doing a lot of
crossing your
lock.
arms and
and like if we'll watch a little bit of video later and you'll see me basically go lock to lock.
Okay.
Or like almost cross my arms.
And that's just because the steering rack is not that quote unquote quick.
Yeah,
it has a low ratio.
It was a luxury car, right?
Yeah.
And also I also think that the steering wheel diameter could be smaller.
Okay.
And that would help.
Okay.
Right? Yes.
It would be larger to give you more leverage if if it was too heavy, smaller if it's too light.
Right. But I mean, you're moving the whole time. Like,
right.
It obviously doesn't have power steering, but it doesn't.
But that wouldn't size wouldn't change that. Arms crossing or anything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, where was I? Oh, so Jordan basically kind of confirmed most of what we were talking about as far as behaviors with the car, like that we were feeling.
I was going to say behaviors within the team.
That's a whole other show. It's a whole other show. So yeah, I mean, the tendency towards understeer and because there's still some understeer there. That's a kind of inherent characteristic of the car. And kind of how light it is in the back and
right.
And I think he was also kind of dancing around that it was it's not super confidence inspiring under braking, but
right.
So, but I think we have a way forward with some of that stuff, which is good. So if you'll notice, my theme this weekend is that we learned a lot. About the car.
Learned a lot
to help us with the next, because it was a rough weekend.
Smash cut to Saturday morning.
Well, so what happened all Saturday morning, we were making around 11 and a half, 12 pounds of boost.
Okay.
About 12 pounds of boost.
Sure.
And then something happened, and by Friday afternoon, we were down to 8 or 9 pounds of boost.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And just like dramatically.
Yeah.
That. And it was started when I got in the car after Craig drove it. And we couldn't figure out we never did figure out what was going on.
Okay.
And I think they're still trying to diagnose it now. But obviously at a track like Road America, that's a big issue. So if you don't know Road America, it's I have
a visual for people.
Yeah, in the
in the tradition of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah.
In the configuration that Chump Car runs, it's a little over 4 miles.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is straights. So there's 3 really long straights, and we were
it's
like
a punishing track from a brakes perspective, and if you don't have straight line acceleration,
it's definitely a big. It's a horsepower track for sure.
Yeah.
Although there was a couple CRXs that did really well in the race. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So we were going into turn 1, which is kind of the fastest part of the track. Both going into turn 1 and down to turn 5, we were probably 10 to 15 miles an hour slower than we would have normally been.
Right,
which
just
is
because of that boost. Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
15 miles an hour is massive there.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, you're downhill all the way into 5.
Yeah, so
and then you're kind of fighting back uphill a little bit, and that's really got to hurt from a horsepower perspective as well.
That one's not so bad. So actually, it's turn the main straight, the big straight into turn 1.
Right.
That's uphill most of the way.
Right.
And that is where our lack of horsepower is really a problem.
Right.
And then also to turn 5. So that turn 5, the downhill section is really only in the braking zone.
Oh, okay.
So you kind of crest, and then that's where like the crest of the hill is like around the 500-meter board.
Okay.
So you kind of crest, and then ideally you're braking at like 350.
Sure.
Depending on your car or whatever. But so that's you don't really get much help there. And then going up to turn 6, which this is a part of the video we're going to watch. It's a really short, steep uphill.
Uh-huh.
And actually our car pulls on people there usually because we have the turbo, and usually that the torque from the turbo helps us kind of reel people in there. But yeah. So we were fighting with that all day Saturday.
Sure.
So the race started on Saturday, and we knew we were going to be struggling because of the boost issues. But we were in the Central Region Championship for D class. There was only one other car that had qualified for the championship in our class, which was a 68 Mustang.
Oh, yeah.
Which let's get to what everyone wants to see, which is me spinning the car.
This is Ian's nemesis, this blue Mustang.
I had a couple of nemesis during my stint on Saturday. So obviously it was very frustrating to be driving a car that was so down on power. I got into a couple of scraps with this Integra.
Okay.
That normally we would have just walked in the straights.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of situations, and I didn't pick video of this, but where I would pull on people through corners. You can see me catching people through the exit phase of the corner.
Okay.
And it's like 300 meters from where everyone's back on full throttle, and I'm still gaining, and then they just disappear. And like Integras were doing that to me.
Okay.
I had I was losing drag races to like a 318. Like,
oh wow.
It was just so frustrating. We were so slow, especially since the class we're in.
Your computer just rebooted again.
We're in a class with V8 Mustangs and Camaros and stuff.
Right.
So that was pretty frustrating all day on Saturday. But okay, so I did spin the car on Saturday in the dry. So basically, what happens here? We're facing turn 5, which is the second, one of the second straight in Road America, and this is going into the slowest corner of the track. Turn 5. So yeah, go ahead and hit play. So I'm kind of off by myself right now.
Yeah, nobody.
I
around.
like this. So hit pause really quick.
Okay.
So I like that. I like this braking zone. You'll see, like, I start my braking zone like kind of in the middle of the track a little bit,
right?
And then you can kind of point the car at the end, the right hand curb at the turn in point, and the track kind of comes back towards
right.
you
I was going to say the track kind of comes in, so you're braking in a straight line while the track towards that outer edge,
right,
where the track comes back in.
And you can really only get away with this when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
If you have other cars around, you can't really do it. And I didn't really do it very well here, which you'll see me. I hit my helmet because I was upset with how I did this corner. I didn't quite get as much of the curb as I was hoping for.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yep.
So now up to Corvette corner, and if you hit pause again, go forward just a couple frames.
Okay.
Just hit spacebar. There you go. So you can see up there.
Oh yeah.
The blue Mustang that we're competing against is way off.
Yeah.
Into the track.
Let's see if we can get it. Yeah.
And so I don't know who was driving during my stint there, but they were really fast in the straights, but they were having a hard time keeping that thing under control. And I saw them off in the grass or off, in these runoff areas several times during my stint. So I would pass them, and then they would come roaring back like 3 laps later on the straight, and then I would catch them again when they would made a mistake. So I knew that one of the places I was faster than them was coming up on the track. So I saw them make the mistake, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to set this up for exiting the carousel, which is a couple corners from now.
Okay.
So we're going to continue.
Mustang coming back on the track there.
Yeah. So turn 7 is normally, so we short shift into 4th here. It's a dogleg transmission, which is why it looks like a third. It's 4th. That's normally flat out, but obviously there was a slower car in front of me.
Right.
So going down to turn 8, he was slow here too. Right. I missed that apex.
Like you do.
This is pretty horrendous. All right, so here's the carousel, which is terrible. I thought there was someone going to pass me, so I was trying to give him a point by, because I was like, I'm dealing with something else here.
Yeah. Hands full, mister.
Yeah.
Hands full. Okay.
All right, so here's my idea. I'm going to exit the carousel, get a good run on it. You can see I got a good pull on him. And then we run the bend instead of the kink. So So normally there's this flat out corner that you run at Road America. So right up here, turn 11.
Let me put it on the thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so if you look at turn 11 is normally the kink. That little grayed out area, that's the bend.
And you guys run that.
Yeah, and it's basically like a bus stop chicane sort of.
Right, to keep people from going too fast into turn 11.
Right, because otherwise it's crazy fast.
Yeah.
So we were running that configuration.
Okay.
And I knew I had watched him go off there a couple of laps previously.
Oh, okay.
He had actually missed the corner and just gone off.
Okay.
So I knew he liked to go in hot there, so I was going to set up on the outside and up and under him was my plan.
Yeah.
What I didn't plan on was that he was going to fucking stop.
Come to a complete stop before the turn.
Which is what happened. So continue.
Okay.
So normally the bend is a third gear corner for us.
Oh, look at how hard he braked there. It was like he was trying to brake check you.
Yeah, so you can hear
You pop it in second.
Pop it in second, and then I try to do my normal line in second instead of third, and the stupidest spin ever.
The car's a little bit higher in the rev range in second than it is third, Ian.
And then I had to wait for traffic to go by before I could re-enter the track.
Did you have a problem with it restarting or anything, or did it keep running?
I didn't
stall.
I didn't stall. I had the clutch in.
Cool. Okay.
As soon as
you got to do a grass burnout.
I did get to do a grass burnout. That was fun.
Yeah.
I get to spin it around on the grass. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll save this next video for.
So that's spin number 1.
Yeah.
So Saturday was frustrating because we were down on power and there was just nothing we could do. And it was that I want to choo choo.
Yep, I want to choo choo.
Why won't you choo choo?
Why won't you choo choo?
So that was pretty frustrating. And so we ended the day, I want to say like 20th overall.
Okay.
Which
is really good.
Which was really
for
good.
A car down on power.
Yeah.
How many cars were in the starting grid?
83.
What?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay.
And then there was a high rate of attrition because Road America is a tough track.
It is hard on cars, man.
At one point, the race was red flagged for a little while they did barrier repairs because of a crash.
Oh, wow. I was going to ask you if there was anybody mincing it up.
Yeah, there were some really hard shunts, most of which were single car.
Okay.
My fucking idiotic thing that I did.
Right.
Single car incidents sort of thing. So it was there was a lot of yellows, there was a lot of restarts that first day. There was a ton of incidents.
So you only had one session the first day?
Yeah, I had one stint. Yeah, I had 2 sessions between Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
2 full stints.
So like before we move on, let's talk about the human element of this. Like this is the first time you've ever spun this car in race conditions, right?
No. The first time I drove it, my first race in 2015.
Yeah.
I spun it under braking in that same corner.
Did you really?
Going into the bend, but it was right after we had gotten hit by another Mustang.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Mustang Mach 1, right?
Yeah, and it was actually, and so that hit was at the exit of the bend, which the bend is like the easiest, like dumbest corner.
Yeah.
On the track,
right?
Because it's just a left, right, go.
It's designed to be slow.
It's designed to be slow and easy and like impossible to fuck up,
right?
And all of our problems are always there. I don't know why.
Okay,
but yeah. So the first year I drove the car, we had that issue when Craig was driving, and the Mustang basically did what I did,
right?
But he tried to save it and actually got traction and zoomed back across the track and ended up spearing into Craig's car, into the Maserati.
Yeah.
And so it dented the left
behind the driver. In front of the rear wheel, yeah.
Yeah, and so we had to like pull it off, and it was still rubbing really bad when I got in the car. And so it was like grabbing at the tire.
Yeah.
Especially under braking. So I braked for the bend, and it just locked that wheel and just spun me around.
So let's talk about your nerves. How were your nerves after that spin? Hey, like anger, like talk me.
More anger.
Directed at yourself?
Yeah, I was irritated with myself.
Okay.
And pretty much all weekend I was frustrated that I'm at that point in my driving skill where I really probably need some formal instruction, I think, because there's this gap between what I know I should be doing and what actually happens.
Sure, yeah.
And it's really frustrating because like as I'm doing things, I'm like, well, that was not correct.
Right.
And like my line, we would watch video, and I, obviously I don't like to toot my own horn, but my line is really good. Like I have a very good line, and I'm really consistent, and I can pick a good line, and I think I'm smooth.
Right.
But like, I think I'm really good at getting at that like 9/10.
Yeah.
And I can drive at 9/10 all day.
Right.
But if you ask me to do 10/10, I just can't do it.
Okay.
I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. Like,
this is why you always mess up in racing simulators. Because there's no restriction from you going to 10/10.
Right.
So when we play Assetto Corsa or Project Cars, 10/10 and you're just spinning Ferraris left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably true.
Right? But in a real car, you have those concerns.
Yeah.
Right?
Self-preservation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is that like I just haven't had enough seat time at 10/10 to know how things are going to feel and react. And I think by the end of my stint on Saturday, I was getting a little bit braver on the brakes and trying to figure some of that stuff out. And part of it too is I'm like leaving, like we talked about before, because I don't have confidence. I'm leaving real estate on the table.
Right.
On corner entry, and that that compromises you.
Yeah. I get that.
But I'm happy with my basic line. Like I watched my in-car back-to-back with Jordan's in-car.
Okay.
And it wasn't dramatically different. He would take a little bit more curb in some places.
You do that when it's not your car.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean,
yeah.
But it wasn't even the amount of curb he was taking and which corners he was taking curb. It wasn't really any different than what I was trying to do.
Sure.
It's just whether or not I actually did it.
Okay.
So that's my human element frustration level.
Okay.
For Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, we ended the day around 20th. Craig had the fast lap of the day, which was I think a 304. I want to say I had one 305 and I had a bunch of like 307s.
Okay.
We were all four of us were like right there. I think.
Oh, nice.
All four of us. I think our fastest lap were all within like 2 seconds of each other. Which over a 4-mile lap.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
For a bunch of amateurs is like pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I think we have a good collection of drivers.
Yeah.
But then Sunday was a whole different. Oh, and the thing that got us 20th place, I have to say this, is our pit stops were
just
flawless.
Nailed. Okay.
Like to the point where we had, and this is a total, testament to Dwayne and Jake and Chris. We had other teams filming our pit stops.
No way.
Yeah. They were just. We never hit that. We never heard the beeper go off.
Okay.
We were just perfect. We got everything done. We would torque wheels, fuel, driver change, tire pressure. It helped that we weren't burning full boost, so we weren't burning fuel at the same rate that we would normally be burning.
Right.
That probably helped a little bit.
How many cans were going in? 3 cans at each stop? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Some cans.
Okay. X quantity of cans.
Yeah. I mean, on Sunday, I don't think we ever got below like half a tank.
Oh, okay.
Because of the rain.
Okay.
So.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. It was awesome. And then so because it was a 16-hour race, 9 hours on Saturday, 7 hours on Sunday, it was parc fermé. So basically we had to
tell us what that means.
Yeah, so it means firmly parked in French, essentially. But it's where you grid the cars on Saturday night after the checkered flag, and you basically start exactly how you are. So we were allowed to cover the cars and like take cameras out.
Sure.
And that was it.
Okay.
So
you couldn't work on the cars overnight.
Can't work on the cars. You can't fuel the cars. You can't check tire pressure.
No engine swaps.
No engine swaps.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Can't do any of that.
If your car was already in the garage at that time, you could continue working on it? Or?
You could continue working. So if you had to work on your car, if you had to take it back into the paddock, they would kick you to EC class.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we ended Sunday with a ton of cars in EC.
Sure.
Because there was a lot of people that had shit that was broken.
Yeah. It's Road America.
Yeah, it's a really tough track. And so we ended the day, like I said, around 20th, maybe like 18th, 19th, 20th, somewhere in there. And like I think we were third or fourth in the overall championship.
Nice, dude. Nice.
But then Sunday
happened.
And it rained the entire day. It started raining. It started raining about 30 or 40 minutes before the race.
What tires were you on? Do you want to talk about that now, or is that going to come later?
So let's talk about that now. So
let's talk tires.
So we didn't have rain tires really. We had the Hankook R12s, which is like a really popular tire.
Yeah.
And we switched to that at Watkins Glen, I think was the first time we ran those.
I'll see if I can find tread pattern of that, but it looks like it would funnel some water away from the center.
And it has been a huge change for us from the old tires that we were running, which I think were Toyos. I can't remember.
Yeah. Was it the V12 or the R12?
R12. It's the R compound.
Oh, okay.
But
anyway.
they're really, really great in the dry. We really liked those. So then it started raining. We had never driven these tires in the rain before.
Okay.
And so my dad goes out, and it was kind of a light rain at that point, and his times were really slow. We were like, oh man, what's going on?
Sure.
So we had these other tires in the trailer. We had these BF Goodriches that we hadn't tried out in the rain yet either.
Okay.
So Dwayne was like, we had some brand new hand cooks. So the idea was we'll put the brand new hand cooks in the front, and we'll put the brand new BF Goodriches in the back, because we only have 3 BF Goodriches.
Okay.
So we put 2 Goodriches in the back and 2 hand cooks in the front.
Okay.
And I got in, and it was undrivable. Undrivable. I'm not joking.
Okay.
So my dad's lap times, so we were doing like low 3-minute lap times on Saturday.
Right.
On Sunday, my dad's lap times were like 4:10.
Whoa.
You know? And then I got in.
Uh-huh.
And I was doing like 4:30s. Like,
Whoa.
I was like pace car pace.
Yeah.
But it was the sketchiest thing I've ever done in my life.
Okay.
Like, the tires just never would hook up. And also, it rained really heavily during my stint. Like, I showed you some of the video where it was just like pelting down.
Yeah.
And
were you like after your stint? Were you just exhausted from the mental focus that it took?
It was like the only thing I can relate it to is like, you know, when you wait 1 week too long to put your snow tires on.
Yeah.
And you drive. I don't know if you've ever driven an all-wheel drive car with summer tires on in the snow, but that's basically what it felt like, where you just have nothing. There's nothing.
Right.
There's no front end. There's no rear end.
And you try to do that for 80 miles. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And the funny thing was that like the only thing that sort of worked was braking. Like,
okay.
Our braking performance by the end of my stint, I kind of figured out that like, our braking performance, if I stay off the racing line, wasn't actually bad.
Okay.
Like I could out brake people, but then I couldn't put any power down at all. Like you heard, I played a little bit for you before the show.
You could just hear the tires spinning like crazy.
Yeah. In turn 14, it looks comically slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
How slow I'm going through this
It looked
corner.
like I could have ran alongside you and given you a high five.
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
That's all you can hear. So I spun on my out lap.
Well, here we go.
So, and if the volume is up high enough, I'll kind of be quiet as I'm exiting the pit. The reason I want to start in the pit is that you can hear me trying to get the power down in the pit exit.
Okay.
And Craig actually spun on pit out.
Yes.
With the hand cooks on.
Okay.
On the rear, but like it was so slippery.
Okay.
It was so slippery, and the team that won overall had Continental Extreme Contact DWs.
Yes.
Had a set of those,
and
we're just like driving the fuck around people.
What, was it one of the all-wheel drive cars? Was it one of the Eagles?
There were no all-wheel drive cars in the in the field this year.
Oh, okay.
And it was
last time when I was there, that Eagle Talon TSI was just destroying the field.
Yep.
Yeah, when it was wet.
Yeah. And it was a BMW, and they just had
really
really good tires on.
It is a testament to the difference that tires makes.
Whatever, I don't know if it was the imbalance between the front and the rear tires, or if it was just that my stint was wetter or whatever, but like undrivable. Let's watch me spin, because that's what everyone wants to see anyway.
I love this. I love this so much. All right, here's Ian in the pits. Yep. Wow. Ian. Yeah, you can't even get any traction down. Look at you. Yeah, you're just wrangling.
It's like 40 miles an hour,
and
I've got like a handful.
Yeah. Oh, what's this turn gonna look like? Oh, wow. Yeah, look how slow.
But you can see that I'm actually like...
Yeah, you're working, Ian. Yeah.
And
also, what's
point buys. That's what I did.
Yeah, just point buys.
My glove was soaked from having my hand out the window so much.
I'm sure. That's a different Mustang, isn't it?
Yep. And then here we go.
Okay. Yeah. In, and he just snap, gone. Gone.
And you can see, like, I tried to...
Yeah.
Do you want to rewind it?
I do.
I didn't notice you could actually see my feet.
Yeah. I don't talk to people while I figure out how to rewind it.
But yeah, and that was the thing that I learned with this car. Like, when it starts to go, there's not a lot of time.
No, there's not.
You know, like...
No, it goes quick.
Yeah. Like, I've done drifts in other cars before.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like you were with me when I did the GT86.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, I can hold a power slide.
Right.
Not in this fucking thing.
Nope. It was just, it was all of a sudden the rear's gone.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, that car's so light. It's so...
it's like 2,300 pounds wet.
Yeah.
So it's really light, and it's
such a tiny short wheelbase. It's gonna snap.
Yeah. It goes around so quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were my two spins.
I love
and
that.
they both were so dumb. You know. Yeah. Pretty
Ian.
embarrassing. Pretty embarrassing.
Hey, so for the rest of Sunday, how'd it go?
So, I mean, my stint was, I'm not going to lie, was fucking miserable.
And do you want any more coffee syrup?
No. Ever. Yeah, no, my stint on Sunday was miserable. I think everybody's stint was miserable.
Right.
So I do want to talk about Lenny for a second. So
okay.
So Lenny is this guy. He's the guy that you have for Italian car parts. In the US.
What's his website? Auto Italia.
Okay. And he is from Long Island.
Okay.
And now lives in Northern California.
Okay.
Which is pretty funny. If you were to watch a TV show. Yeah, this is him.
Okay. Yeah, if you were to watch a
TV show or a movie or something, and Lenny was a character on it, you would be like, well, that's just obviously like way too broad of a stroke to draw people from Long Island.
Okay.
Like if you would be like that, this is just a caricature of Long Island people.
Okay. Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Okay.
But he's real life. He's essentially a cartoon character.
Okay.
But right. Okay, so he gets out of the car on Sunday and is just fucking pissed.
Okay.
Because he got in after me, and I radioed into Dwayne and was like, these tires are hot garbage.
Right.
They don't work. And so they ended up putting hand hooks on all four corners.
Sure.
Getting rid of the BF Goodrich's. And so he got a little bit faster, but he was still like, this thing is undrivable. And so he gets out of the car and he goes, I wrote it down. I would have been faster in my 78 Cadillac, and I got an 8-track and a heater in that motherfucker. I think he said Caddy, though. The 78 Caddy. Yeah. Would have been faster in my 78 Caddy. I got an 8-track and a heater in that motherfucker. Yeah. He was full of gems like that.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh man, I wish timing would have worked that I could have gone on vacation and to this race.
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
So and everybody everybody had the same thought that like Sunday was just a grind.
Yeah.
It was just really tough.
So how did you guys finish?
We ended up finishing around 20th.
Okay.
And I think we were 4th in the championship. We finished just off the podium, and we were 4th in D class.
Okay.
So we missed the podium, but we did get the sportsmanship award.
Yeah? How did you guys get that?
I don't know. I have no idea. They said we were a pleasure to be around, and I looked over at Lenny, and I was like, well, that's us out of it. And then they were like, Dead Pedal Racing. I was like, what? Oh, okay. They must not have met any of us.
Right. No, that's Jake and Chris and Dwayne right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That must have been. And they did call out like our pit stops were flawless. So so the Chump Car write-up had talked about us and said that, talked about our pit stops and the pit stops were great. The pit stop right before I got in the car there, they did tire change, fuel, got me in the car, tried to look for boost issues, like did the whole thing, and it was, I think the timer was going off as I was pulling away.
Oh wow, amazing!
Yeah,
amazing.
It was pretty impressive.
Wow.
It was great. So yeah, and so the timer thing is like you have if you fuel the car, it's a minimum 5-minute stop.
Yep.
To keep people from rushing and spilling fuel and all that. And so like if you
it's a good rule. I like that rule. Yeah.
Well, and it's so funny like with Dwayne, since he's joined the team, and the decision making has been taken away from at pit stops from my dad and Craig and myself and whoever else whatever other arguing family members. Our pit stops the first year I raced with them were like 17 minutes long. And then now, I mean, we're a lot of times sitting at pit out for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's where you want to be.
Yeah. It's a huge difference. And you know, 17 minutes is a huge amount of track time to lose.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
You lose seconds on the track, minutes in the pits.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we lost no minutes at all weekend in the pits.
That's awesome.
It was really impressive.
Nice.
They were I can't say enough good things about that. So
nice, man.
The only reason we were competitive at all was our pit stops.
Nice, dude. Nice. But that's endurance racing.
Yeah.
All of these factors. So like if you do one thing really, really well, like if you are consistent on the course constantly and very fuel saving, you will do well in endurance racing. If your pit stops are amazing and consistent, you will do well. I mean, it doesn't just come down to throwing money at a fast car.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think personally I know exactly where I need to improve. You know, I need to get better at kind of closer to the limit handling.
Sure.
Or more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then you know, for the car, rain tires.
Yeah.
Holy shit, rain tires.
Yeah, really.
Because
tires make the biggest difference.
Oh man.
The biggest difference. Yeah.
It was miserable. I can't stress how miserable. Like even finding the, you know, kind of and Dwayne helped me with this too, you know, on the radio and stuff of finding the outside kind of the karting line like they talk about in Formula 1 where, you know, you stay off the racing line and use kind of the scrubbed rubber around the outside of the corner. You know, there was definitely more grip and you could find more grip, but it was all relative. Like I was still way slower than everybody else.
Gotcha.
Like, the carousel was normally that's about 80 miles an hour sustained through the carousel.
Okay.
And then you know, accelerate, and then I can feel the balance of the car.
Yeah.
In the dry, the balance is actually pretty good on that car because you can feel it. It kind of rotates around your hips, and you can feel it moving around once you get it to the limit in the carousel, especially. And so you can kind of steer it with the throttle pedal.
Right.
So that's 80 miles an hour, and then you can dive down to that curbing and accelerate from there, and exit around 90 or so.
Right.
On Sunday, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it was on the limit. Like I was steering with the throttle pedal at half the speed.
Right.
It was crazy, even when it wasn't raining that hard. And then the back straight. Oh my God, the back straight. I'm sorry to keep going about this.
No, the back straight. That's before turn 5.
No. The back straight between down to Canada corner.
Yep.
So
11 to 12. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, from the bend down to the 12-13 complex was at times. Yep, right there. Hydroplaning.
Oh, okay.
Just hydroplaning the entire straight.
Is that downhill?
Yeah, so this is the lowest. This is actually the lowest part of the track.
Yeah, that's right. That's where some carnage can happen.
Well, and there's a lot of standing water down there too.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of you'll notice. Well, I guess I didn't have video of turn 5, but like the one place you couldn't at a lot of times during my stint do that outside line for more grip was in turn 5 because it was just standing water.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the same thing in turn 12. There's a lot of standing water down there, especially in the braking zone. So you had to kind of like pick your way through the puddles.
Yeah.
It was stressful.
That's your first heavy rain race experience.
That's my first in the wet on a racetrack ever.
Right.
At all with any moisture whatsoever. Like I had there was some misting at Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
But it was a dry track.
Yeah.
You know?
All that did is make the intercooler work better.
Right. Yeah. We had like more choo-choo.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the first time I've ever been on a wet
1/3 to
racetrack.
1/2 choo-choo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with rain tires, it actually would have been a really good day for us because with the reduced boost, it would have been.
It would have worked in your favor.
It would have worked in our favor. But we ended up having the worst of both worlds with down on power and down on grip somehow. And normally it's one or the other. So I don't know how we managed that, but
you're not going to go through a set of brake pads on that day. Yeah.
No.
Did you swap brakes on Saturday?
We inspected them. I don't think we ended up.
Nice.
I think we ended up putting them back in.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because again, we were so much slower.
Right.
We definitely didn't do it on race day. We might have done it on Friday.
Okay.
Because it was Parc Fermé, so we couldn't do anything.
You couldn't do anything
Saturday night except drink beer.
Yeah.
So.
What was that? Did you like that rule? Did you like that you like that there was kind of a? Do you think that they did that to reduce driver and team fatigue for the next day?
No, I think it was just a different race format.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I think it was fun.
Yeah.
It was.
Did you get to bed at a decent time?
Yeah, relatively.
Yeah. Because when you do these things, like we get like 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night.
Right. Yeah. And it was still not great. I mean, we still stayed up late. Like Jake brought.
Yeah.
So Jake brought his iRacing rig, and he had
Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift.
VR goggles.
VR goggles, and a steering wheel and pedal setup, which he had it on this like folding, collapsible thing.
Okay.
Which is really great. We'll have to get the link from him.
Yeah.
But it would be a good solution for both of us actually.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Okay.
It was so much fun.
What were you playing? Assetto Corsa?
iRacing.
iRacing. Oh, okay. Nice.
It was a ton of fun. It was really trippy, and it was a little weird because I was in like at a squishy chair, so I was like in a really bad seating position essentially, so I was like craning my neck.
Okay.
To like figure my way around to like see out of the car.
Sure.
But yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Nice.
It was great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do more of that.
I've done the PlayStation VR. I haven't done like actual. I mean, like the kind of games that we like are cockpit games. Like we like driving sims, and those lend themselves very well to a VR setup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was really really cool.
Nice.
And it was nice to be able to like look out of the side window, like in the places that you would look out of the side window.
Right.
To like kind of be able to. It was another thing that I could see really being a benefit for the muscle memory of learning a track. Of like
looking through turns.
Yeah, exactly. Like where to turn your head.
Yeah.
And just there's a left next, there's a right next.
Right.
This is what I have to do. So yeah, it was really good.
Nice. I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Nice, man. That's awesome. So
that's all I had.
So besides some spins, there was no car contact, anything like that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we had any.
Did anybody at any point shit in a field in my honor?
No, we did not.
Oh, man.
We did not. I did, however, drink some Wisconsin coffee for you.
Yeah. Oh, God. I just got a bad taste in my mouth.
That's how badly I needed coffee. I forgot. And I went to the concession stand and I got coffee and I was like, what? Why did I do this?
This is what happens when I'm not there.
Yeah.
You would have had my Nespresso.
I know.
But my Nespresso was in Northern California with me.
I almost thought about asking you if I could bring it, but then I was like, no, he's taking it with him.
Yeah, I travel with a Nespresso.
I know you do.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? It packs nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm going to try to get some, I'll try to post the videos of all of our spins. Oh, the other thing. So I was feeling really ashamed of my spin. And of course, you could see in that first video that I immediately got on the radio button and self-reported that I spun the car. And was like,
when you make a mistake, this is what IT has taught us. When you make a mistake, it's best you let everyone know immediately.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You don't want someone to figure it out on their own.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I get back to the pit, and I'm expecting to get really berated about spinning the car, and everyone's oddly quiet about it.
Okay.
And then I finally kind of start like dragging it out of them that every single one of those other motherfuckers also spun the car multiple times this weekend, or at least had offs.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
highly suspicious.
Yeah,
so I'm going to try to compile all of the offs and spins that we had and put that up as a video, which I'm sure my dad and uncle will really appreciate. But I'm going to try to do that, and I'm going to try to get that done this week. So.
Did you get all of the race on camera?
Got all the race.
That's amazing.
So
well
having
done.
2 cameras is the way to go because I had the mount there.
Yep.
And I just boom.
Nice.
Nice. And so I had a nice system and had I think I only had to change SD cards once because of just like where my stint was in the day.
Sure.
So I had Jake do that once, and that was it.
Nice.
So
cool.
we used 2 cameras, 2 SD cards, and I would just dump footage while other drivers were out.
Yeah.
And then format the cards.
Yeah.
So,
well done, man. Good job.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, I have 16 hours of more than that. I have like 24 some hours of Maserati at Rhode America footage that I'm going to do something with, I guess. I don't know. So.
Right on, man. You're right. 2 cameras is the way to go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think maybe we could do a narrated lap of the pro driver in the car.
Yeah, I want to do a narrated lap of you.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, screw the pro driver. This is Team Clear Coat. We're doing narrated laps of you.
All right.
Ian.
All right.
Ian.
Dave.
What else?
That's it. That's all I've got. Matt, I had a great time.
Good. I'm glad you're safe.
My miserable stint on Sunday notwithstanding.
Right.
But yeah, it was great. Buy rain tires for your race car. For fuck's sake.
Right.
People.
Tires make all the difference. Yep.
I wish I had. At one point, I will say, one of the most puckery moments was like, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it this lap.
Right.
I'm gonna do it. And turn 1,
I
ended up, there's a flag stand on the right after turn 1.
I was gonna ask you if you just threw it into a drift.
Inside. And I was at one point facing straight on the flag stand and just like, and it was like, 40 or 50 miles an hour.
Right.
Like basically half speed.
Right.
And it was just miserable because that car is just.
I'm sorry, buddy.
So snappy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
how wet did you get driving the car? Because it doesn't have much for side windows.
Yeah. My glove got really wet because I had my hand doing point buys.
Yeah.
Like constantly.
Right. But other than that, you stayed mostly dry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty dry.
You stay warm enough?
It was pretty warm that day. It was like 60 degrees, so we were still running the cool suit and stuff.
Nice.
Because it gets so hot in there, especially with those side pipes.
Yeah.
It gets so hot in that car.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll just line it with asbestos for the next race.
What could go wrong?
Exactly. Right?
Poorly applied asbestos. That's what you need, right?
Exactly. I'm sure. I got a guy. Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you're safe.
I got an 8-track and a heater in that motherfucker.
I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad everybody made it back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Awesome. Awesome, man. What else are we talking about?
My rental car sucked.
Yeah, what was your rental car?
I had a Toyota Corolla.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can up you on the car sucking.
Oh,
rental
please
car
do.
sucking.
Please do.
So
I don't have anything to say about the Corolla. It wouldn't even do. I kept trying to do parking brake turns with it. And it wouldn't let me.
Was that hand brake?
Hand brake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times I took a pretty good amount of speed, and it would like unbrake the inside wheel to like make it.
AI figured you out.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So my amazing. I know that's disgusting. My amazing girlfriend and I took a trip to Northern California to see the Redwoods.
Mm-hmm.
We had this planned before all of the craziness happened, and it turned out to be a nice, quick trip, just kind of clear my head, and it was much needed vacation.
Yes.
So we flew from Denver to Seattle, from Seattle to Medford, Oregon, and then rented a car in Medford. And it was one of those rental kiosks where you can tell, like, the guy just changes hats.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Alamo? Okay, hang on. Jock's underneath the cover. Pops up with the Alamo hat on. Ian, my rental car. My rental car.
Yeah.
It was a 2017 Toyota Camry.
Oh.
And the rental agent.
Well, it's better than the Corolla, right?
No, it's not, Ian.
The
rental agent said.
That's a 16.
Yeah, shut up. So
you're also not showing it to the people.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. Yes. There we go. The rental agent said, because I joked when we picked the car up, I said, "Oh, I think the last Camry I drove was my 1990 Toyota Camry."
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they've gotten any better since. They haven't. The rental agent said, "Oh, I think you'll be impressed." Yeah. And my girlfriend was like, "I think you'll be depressed." Mm-hmm. So yeah, that drive from Medford to we stayed in Crescent City, California. That drive is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Do it in something other than a boring ass Toyota Camry because it's.
I once did that drive in a a Chevy Cobalt.
Oh.
So
I actually, the Cobalt was fine. It was fine. It's just, it's easy to park. It's fine, right? You don't have, it's just like, it's milk. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. It is the definition of fine. Yeah. But the Camry, it's kind of big, and it's just, I don't know. The interior is so plasticky but trying to look good,
right,
and luxurious, but it's just not. And I think you'll be impressed.
You didn't like it?
No, I think you'll be depressed. Yeah.
Well, it's also hard, especially with that class car, to judge off the rental spec.
Right.
I feel like.
Yeah, my girlfriend's the passenger seat still a manual seat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rental spec is always tough with those.
Yeah. Let's see. There's no good place to put your phone. And I just realized this is a JDM one on the screenshot because the steering wheel's on the right. Yep. But anyway, so it's a beautiful drive. If you like that drive, if anybody gets a chance, you need to do it because it's. I mean, like that, the 101. Mm-hmm. Yeah, do that. It's amazing. It's scenic. It's gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah. We stayed in a place right on the ocean.
Also, splash out and use Turo.
Yeah. Right.
Get a good car.
Yeah, get a Focus RS. Yeah. That you can drift into a 2,000-year-old Redwood. So
they'll fall like dominoes.
Yeah. So when we were driving out there, we stopped at this first of all, that part of the country not doing well. There, you could just you ever drive into an area and you're like, oh yeah, there's a lot of meth here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we stopped at this one gas station / post office / real estate agent person place, and they had an odd amount of deep fried food up at the gas station counter, like burritos and taquitos and chicken strips and stuff like that, French fries, and I didn't hear this.
On my fourth piece of fried food.
Right. Yeah. I grabbed the key and ran to the restroom. The restroom was so jacked up, I peed in the sink. Yeah.
That's not what you're. Why couldn't you pee in the toilet?
It was at the brim.
Oh.
Yeah. It was so messed up.
Oh,
I was
my God.
Yeah,
I was worst toilet in Scotland, sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was bad. Ian. It was bad. Yeah, we got back in the car and my
in the sink.
My girlfriend had the pack of Germex wipes, and we were just we completely bathed each other at that point. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
hold on. Wait, no, you can't just skip over. So I peed in the sink.
Yeah, I had to pee really bad.
Did you feel like you were the first person to make that decision?
No, not by any means. That sink has not had anything other than human waste directed at it for years.
So also mechanically. Just mechanically.
I'm 6'4".
Okay. No. So it wasn't an issue because I've had issues at, I'm going to just be honest, some urinals where I've got to
you got to put some arc on it.
You got to put some arc on it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a big boy. Yeah. I peed down at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because some sinks are tall. So.
Yeah, some sinks are. Yeah,
So you got lucky that the sink was not.
Right, yeah.
So if the sink had been tall, what would have been the next, drain in the floor, sort of?
Yeah. Look for a floor drain or just go to the woods. Yeah.
You have traumatic experiences with rest stops and bathrooms, don't you?
Yeah, I do. This is not a good run.
It's developing into a pattern.
It is.
To be honest,
it's gonna get to the point where you start to wonder if the problem is the rest stops or if the problem is the person looking to them. So, oh God, let's get this Camry off the goddamn screen. So.
How do you always get in these situations?
Ian, this is what it's like to be me. Ian, okay.
Just one intestinal disaster after another.
The Dave Severnuk story. Yeah. My autobiography just opens with, so I'm shitting in a field at 3 a.m. like you do.
Yeah, again.
Dewy grass at my shins.
Yeah, exactly.
So while I was in the bathroom, I didn't hear this. My girlfriend did. So with all that fried food in the front, she was just kind of walking around, wondering like what sink she could pee in. The lady behind the counter with all the deep fried stuff, like a lot, man, like way more, right? And it wasn't just made. It's not piping hot, there's no way anyone should ever touch that. She overhears the lady behind the counter just go, "I love this grease." We got in the car and she was like, "Just wait till you hear what this lady said."
Well, maybe they were using a new type of grease and it cooked really well.
"I love this grease."
Maybe,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Where's your mind going?
Just like.
Do you think they're using the grease for untoward purposes? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, not by any means. Just like that, I don't know. Like that, it's just so greasy. It's so unhealthy. It's so they're just in it. Like this is it's just your life.
It's gas station food.
Yeah, no.
It's delicious.
No, it's not.
Did you try any of it?
No.
Oh, I would have been all over that.
No, Ian, it was nice knowing you. No.
I mean, we've been over this. Like, I
love this grease.
I enjoy places like that where there's I'm going to say 30% chance I'm going to get hepatitis. Like, I'm into it.
Well, I am too. Like, I want to eat at the sketchy restaurants. I don't consider it to be a good cyclocross ride unless I think I'm getting hep C.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that ends at gas station then for you. So
dude, all that deep fried food, you could just taste it. Like, it was sitting out. It was all, yeah. I didn't hear any popping and crackling.
Okay.
And there's this place, who knows how long that toilet was jacked up? Like, there's no way this place is getting...
These are good points.
You think about the turnover, right? Yeah. Right? I'll eat at a sketch-ass taco truck that has a line.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat at the sketch-ass taco truck that hasn't seen a customer for a week.
Right. No,
right?
I get you. These are good points. I probably still would have eaten it.
So while we were driving to Crescent City, we passed one other place. So this is not really a my eyes, but it's a my eyes about a grocery store. We passed a grocery store. Do you know what the name of this grocery store was?
Oh, I don't know.
Ray's Food Place. Ray's Food Place. Ian. Yeah. Come on down to Carl's burrito location, adjacent to Ray's Food Place. Yeah, like really, like we can't think of another name. Food Place.
It gets the job done. You know exactly what it is. It says what it is on the box.
It's a food place. Yeah. Where'd you guys eat last night? We ate at the pizza proximity.
Yeah. I geotagged a burger. That's where I'm at.
Geotagged burger. Yeah. So, besides sink peeing and washing, contracting hep C, we had a fantastic trip. I highly recommend that trip to anybody that goes. We were at, how do you say it? Jedediah? Is that the right way to say it? Jedediah State Park.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. At Jedediah State Park. It was fantastic. You're standing next to a tree that was there 700 years before the Chinese invented gunpowder.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right?
The trees they're amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it when we went several years ago,
So a buddy of mine had gone and showed me a picture of his wife standing amongst the trees, and I'm really glad that he showed me that, because not only did it inspire me to take the trip, and I showed that to my girlfriend, and we had a trip booked within hours, because it's so impressive. But if you're taking pictures, you need to have a human in them for scale.
Yeah.
Because it's just trees. But then you pinch and zoom on the photo and and you see how tiny a freaking human is in all of this. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, the sense of scale there it's really wacky.
Yeah, you don't get it. And you can't you look up, you can't see the tops. Mm-hmm. They're just big ass trunks.
Yeah.
That's it. It's amazing. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, the first time that you see the Rockies or something,
right?
When you see something on the horizon and then it's approaching when you're in a car and it's approaching for hours.
Right.
The sense of scale is all weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing, I think. You have to like retune your brain.
Yes. Yeah. And so if you go out there and you're taking pictures, make sure to keep one of your people in the frame.
Yeah.
That'll help other people at least get an idea.
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff about like seeing stuff in nature, the stuff that really impresses me, like that just really has a hook in it, in me is anything that just puts me back from a sense of scale. Like Black Canyon of the Gunnison is amazing. Like just the scale and the sheerness of the canyon walls are amazing, and you look across the canyon and you're like, oh, like each one of those little green dots I see is a big ass tree.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a really good trip. We were there for a couple days. We got some legit seafood while we were there from a little place called North Shore Sports Bar. Even though it said that, it wasn't a sports bar, but it was just like this nice little place right there.
Yeah.
Like legit fish and chips, and it was awesome. It was a really good trip. We thought driving in that it was going to rain the entire time that we were there, but we were determined to make the best of it. We brought our rain gear. We were just going to roll with it, right? That's what we do, and we had like a really serendipitous moment on the first day that we were there where we woke up and it was sunny and it was like, all right, let's have some breakfast, get to the park. And so it was still like the wind was knocking some of the moisture off the trees and stuff. And so like you're standing there, and like just a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind and sun and fog and stuff. It's all coming through. And oh man, it was magic.
I love that area of the country. It's so great.
And we were there. We were in the park on a weekday, like a Friday morning. So we had the park to ourselves for a large portion of that. And then towards the end of us hiking this loop, then we saw other people and people like with kids and running around and everything. They're like, oh, like we were really lucky that like a lot of people ducked out because they thought the weather might be bad. It's a school day, and like, if you're going to be around that stuff, it's pretty awesome to have it to yourself too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like it's a really insane, like ethereal kind of quiet.
One thing that's always struck me about that area of the country too is that kind of like going to hiking trails in Colorado. You get these trails that are like really highly trafficked and stuff.
Yeah,
they're all clean. They're all really well kept, and people have good trail etiquette. And the whole thing. And there's a lot of places around the country where you go, and they don't see nearly as much foot traffic, but you see garbage everywhere. And that just doesn't happen there. It doesn't happen as much in Colorado either.
Yeah.
So
I like that the litter that we see on a lot of Colorado trails is like somebody tore the end off of a goo shot or a Cliff Bar wrapper, and it happened to come out of their pocket when they were like grabbing their phone or something, right? It's not like somebody's like, this Cliff Bar blueberry crisp wrapper goes over here.
There's a scene in Mad Men where they they have
the picnic,
and Don is like drinking beers and
just tossing the cans,
just like shake the blanket out,
into the grass and pack up. No, it was, the trails were amazing. It was super clean. We talked to the rangers for a little while, and that was super awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it was an amazing trip. So amazing driving. Don't rent a Toyota Camry. The roads are fantastic. And these trees are of the scale that like some of them are right up against the edge of the road.
Yeah.
And you can see huge scratches in them from where trucks have hit them. And the trees are like, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like,
or probably snowplows.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, they have like reflectors on them, you know, because you want to be able to find the goddamn 2,000-year-old tree.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So
well,
anyway,
cool, man. I'm glad that was a good trip for you.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it was awesome. So we should definitely wrap this up because we've blathered on and on for way too long.
Okay.
Ian.
Yes.
What else do you want to say?
Not much. Let me do one quick FMK Cars.
Okay, I'll do one for you too.
Because we haven't done FMK Cars.
FMK Cars is a game that Ian and I play on the show. It's that classic game, fuck, marry, kill, blah, 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 blah.
Faster.
Yeah.
Faster.
We need to hire the Micro Machines guy.
Yeah.
I
like it.
Yeah.
It's based on fuck, marry, kill. You know what
but with cars, because we're nice.
Okay. Anyway, All right, so I have one that is topical somewhat.
Okay.
In honor of Twitter expanding to 280 characters, which is a
mistake.
A fairly recent development in the last month or so.
Boo.
I agree completely. Boo.
Yeah.
Here are some other things that have gotten bloated over the years.
Okay.
This is just me. It's just a list of me. Just slowly gaining weight. You will start driving the first iteration of this car, and it will slowly morph into the latest, fattest version.
Oh, wow. This is really good. Nice. Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Is a Toyota RAV4 in here?
It is not.
Okay.
So, the first one, Ford Taurus SHO.
Oh, wow.
So if you drive it as a daily driver over the lifetime, it'll slowly morph into the current EcoBoost version.
Uh-huh.
But it'll start with as the
Gen 1.
The Gen 1 89 Yamaha V6.
And you're going to go through that weird phase where it was this one with the V8. Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, weird. Okay.
So it's slowly going to change.
Okay.
And so if you drive it for a day,
that's all going to happen in a day.
It all happens in a day.
Okay. All right, Taurus SHO. Okay.
Right. So the second one is a Porsche 911.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be base model throughout.
It starts as a Volkswagen Bug.
No, it'll start as the 1964.
No, I'm just messing with you.
First 911, and then it'll slowly morph through, kind of the dark years of the early 80s and stuff. But it'll end up as a 991 911 with the turbo.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's going to be ups and downs with that one.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So then the third one, and the thing is, you don't want to do this one for a day because the changes would be so rapid.
Right.
Because it's, you're talking about like 50 years.
Well, don't answer the FMK cars for me.
Oh, yeah. The third one is the Mazda Miata. This one's a little tricky because the new one is actually a little bit lighter than the NC. The ND is a little lighter than the NC. But we're going to gloss over that. It's fine.
Okay.
So you're going to start, and I said, pretend it's a hard top and you fit.
Oh, okay. I like the kicker.
So there's a double bubble. We'll pretend there's a double bubble hard
like
top.
Like the Batman, the Batmobile? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, like like the D-type Jag thing where there's a big bubble.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, E-type, the racing E-type Jags with the bubble for the helmet.
Yeah.
So there's one of those and it's a factory hardtop. We'll just pretend for your purposes.
Okay. All right.
Because ginger.
Hashtag because ginger. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So I think for a day I'm going to pick the Porsche because like that's gonna be a day. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I think it'll be changing so rapidly that you won't have time to get bedded into one kind of aspect of it.
So what would you do for a day?
I would try to drive in one straight line. I would take it to the Bonneville Salt Flats. And right, because it's going to start out like just all crazy and hard to handle, and it's just going to get more and more refined over time. Yeah, and so then it would I would start just going all over the place.
Yeah,
and then over time it would just eventually turn into this perfect straight line. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I like that.
Then I'm going to kill the Miata, not because I won't fit. You took care of that problem for me, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I want the SHO.
Okay.
I like the new SHO. I do.
Okay.
It's a massive car.
It's enormous.
It is the Redwood of cars.
It's huge.
It is like a Nissan Armada somehow turned into a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
It's exactly right.
Yeah, it's especially when you see it parked next to something either classic 80s or just a normal small car like a Hyundai Accent,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would do. Yeah, your video driver, Ian.
I know.
Whatever. So what would you do in that one, Ian?
I think I would crush the SHO.
Okay.
And I like your idea of the 911. I think I would do the 911 and I would just run like one mountain pass all day.
Yeah, and just get up to speed with the changes as they came?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's the same course, different car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, whatever. Or the same racetrack or something like that.
Yeah. There you go.
And then I would think I would marry the Miata.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that'd be fun.
Right on. I have an FMK cars for you, Ian.
Okay.
That's really fun.
I was proud of that one. I like that one.
That is a fantastic idea. Ian, this one is called Spoiler Alert! Spoiler alert. These cars suck.
Oh, God.
That's the spoiler alert.
Okay.
These cars suck. These are cars with the worst spoilers that I can think of. So I saw one of these and I was like, fuck me, that is a bad spoiler on a car. These are all factory spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay?
I have a personal favorite.
Okay.
Terrible spoiler.
Yeah? Do you
want me to guess it?
Yeah.
Do you want me to write it down and see if it's on your list?
Yes. Write it down. We'll put it in the sealed envelope. Okay.
We don't have a sealed envelope.
We don't have a sealed envelope. Yeah. Okay. First up, Ian.
Okay, I've written my guess down.
Okay.
My personal favorite terrible spoiler.
Okay.
And I'm setting it face down right here. We have not discussed this.
No, we have not. First up.
Was it a Taurus SHO?
It's the Taurus SHO, the V8 with the weird little dinky spoiler in the back. Look at that.
Spoiler, yeah.
That is awful.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny we both had SHOs in our
right.
thing.
Yeah. Okay, so next, man, this car, Ian, it is a Dodge.
That was not the one that I had, by the way.
Stratus RT.
Yeah.
Do you remember the spoiler on this thing?
I do. I don't think it was that bad.
It was. They had a version of it. Oh, I think we have to go to Wikipedia. Yeah. Where was it? Wikipedia.
Just try Dodge Stratus spoiler.
Yeah. Where was it?
This is us Googling.
Yeah,
things.
us Googling things. Here it is. Ian, look at that.
That's not factory.
It is too, Ian. Dodge Stratus RT.
No.
Yes, Ian. I did research on this.
What? Really?
Yes, Ian. Yes.
That spoiler's ridiculous.
Yes, Ian.
Oh my God.
Lastly, Ian. What brand did you write down?
Pontiac.
You are correct.
Is it this one?
It is the Pontiac G6 Was it the GXP or GTP?
That one.
G6 GTP?
I thought it was the GTP.
Spoiler. You got to learn how to talk.
It is the GXP. You're right.
Yeah, GXP. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I always screw that. Which ones are GTP? Which ones are GXP?
Yeah. Ian, that is this.
It's so ridiculous.
So I saw one of these when I was driving around, and yeah.
Every time I see one, I'm like, that's not real.
Right. It looks made up.
Yeah.
It looks made up.
Also, just to remind everyone, that is a front-wheel drive car.
Yeah. And you're basically getting a shelf you could play ping pong on.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah. It's so stupid looking.
So what would you do?
Oh my God.
Dinky spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. These cars suck. Ian.
I'm going to marry the show.
You're going to marry the weird show?
I'll marry the weird show.
Yeah, this was the V8 one. I never drove one of these. I'm sure it wasn't
I've never
good.
driven one of those
They were
either.
supposed to be bad.
Yeah, they are supposed to be bad, but I would still, of those, I would marry
Look at that weird. Oh.
I
Ian,
would.
You got to get in and out of that thing in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then for a day, I'll do the Stratus.
Okay.
I still can't believe that's real.
Yeah.
And then I'm crushing that.
Yeah, you're crushing the Pontiac G6.
That spoiler is just stupid.
Yes.
It's so stupid.
Yes, it is.
And I still I always.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Every time I see one, it's just so silly and stupid looking.
We got to credit Automobile's review for that picture, but yeah. Hopefully
and
it's
that
a Pontiac
car is just
picture.
horrendous.
Oh, yeah. No, that's awful. So it wasn't the GXP that Oprah gave away. She just gave away the G6.
Right.
But, that was the car so shitty the Pontiac had to get Oprah to give them away to people.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was really, and that car was also at the center, the focal point of the ignition switch.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
That was one of the ones that the ignition would just shut off.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in a Pontiac Grand Prix that did that on the highway in Washington, D.C. Twice. It just shut off. Yep. I was in the fast lane, no power.
Crazy.
Nothing. Just gone.
So dangerous.
Yeah.
So dangerous. And no taillights then, right?
No taillights. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Terrible.
So, anyway, I'm sorry to.
So what would you do there?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Here's what I would do. Okay. I would marry the Taurus because it's weird.
It's the less of all evils.
Certainly. I would kill the Dodge, and then for a day I would drive the Pontiac G6 GXP. Here's what I would do. I would enter it in a demolition derby, and I would just throw it in reverse, and I would use that spoiler to slice through the competition. Sha-sha-sha! Sha-sha-sha!
Yeah.
Yeah. Because more than likely,
I'm sure that's made out of really high quality materials.
I think if you were in a demolition derby and you saw that coming towards you, you'd just commit Harry Carey right away. Like whatever the demolition version of that is. You'd just be like, nope, self-destruct. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to interface with that thing. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
So that's what I would do. Anyway, Ian, this has been the Team Clearcoat podcast.
This has been. We talked about cars, most of it.
We did. We did.
Coffee syrup.
And coffee syrup. Oh, man.
Which, by the way, I just want to let you know because, I care about you and love you as a friend so much that I'm leaving this at your house.
Yeah, this is definitely not going to get poured down my drain and put in the recycle bin. Yeah. In fact, the Denver Waste Management's going to call me and be like, yeah, that coffee syrup bottle, we can't recycle that. It turns out the bottle is made out of high fructose corn syrup.
Just leave it out in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the gift of coffee syrup, Ian. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yep.
I got you, boo.
Do you? Do you? Ian, TeamClearCoat.com. That's where people can find us.
That's true.
iTunes. They should rate and review us on iTunes.
Follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube.
Definitely do that. So
I think this show is better on YouTube.
I think so too. I think that we should get enough ad revenue to buy you a new laptop.
For real. For real.
Any hoozle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. Right.
We done did it.
Ian.
Goodbye, everyone.
It was great doing the show with you.
It was okay.
We love you.